Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Take 2. Had to deal with a quick issue. Real life takes precedent, so we're doing a mulligan. And once again, this is Fran Tarkenton Dice Football using charts. And the only season I have is 1968, so I reversed engineered 1974, and that's what I'm working on. And the first two teams I have completed to a point are the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to replay, to the best of our ability, Super Bowl IX. Now let's go to the starting lineups. And let me do the sound check. Okay, that sounds good. Starting for the Vikings at quarterback, Fran Tarkenton. Halfback, Dave Osborne. Fullback, Chuck Foreman. The flankers, John Gilliam. Jim Lash is the left end. Stu Voigt is the tight end. Left tackle, Charles Goldrum. Left guard, Andy Mahler. The center, Mick Tinglehoff. Right guard, Ed White. Right tackle, Ron Yeri. For the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense, quarterback Terry Bradshaw, halfback Rocky Blyer, fullback Franco Harris, Ron Shanklin is the left end. The flanker is Frank Lewis. The tight end Larry Brown. Left tackle John Kolb. Left guard Jim Clark. The center Ray Mansfield. Right guard Jerry Mullins. And the right tackle Gordon Gravel. For the Purple Gang defense, the Purple People Eaters, 4-3 set. The defensive ends, Carl Eller and Jim Marshall. The defensive tackles, Doug Sutherland and Alan Page. The outside linebackers, Roy Winston and Wally Hillenberg. The middle linebacker, Jeff Seaman. The cornerbacks are Nate Wright and Jackie Wallace. The strong safety is Jeff Wright, and the free safety, Paul Krause. For the Steel Curtain defense of the 1974 Pittsburgh Steelers, the defensive ends are L.C. Greenwood and Dwight White. The defensive tackles, Mean Joe Green and Ernie Holmes. The outside linebackers, Jack Ham and Andy Russell. The middle linebacker, Jack Lambert. The cornerbacks, J.T. Thomas and Mel Blount. And the strong safety is Mike Wagner. The free safety is Glenn Edwards. Now that those formalities are out of the way, let's start rolling some dice. Alrighty, so the Vikings are the odd team, and the Steelers are the even team. Let's see who gets the kickoff, and it's odd, and the Vikings elect to receive. So the Steelers will kick off from their 40. And for kickoffs, we mark 2. We've increased the time, as I've stated before. Normally it's 1 for a kickoff, 2 for a run or completion, and 3 for a long gain. We've gone 2, 3, 4 to speed up the game solitaire. And this is being played, we're playing it solitaire. There we go. And we have defensive play cards on the board that correspond with the dice rolls, and I'll explain it as it goes. So here's the kickoff by Roy Girella. Back deep for the Vikings is Brent McCallum. So Girella will kick off from his 40, and that's a 35 on the kickoff, and everything's right on the chart here. 35, and that's a 60-yard kickoff. Goes into the end zone, and it will be downed by Brett McCullum It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Fran Tarkenton and the 1974 Minnesota Vikings. All right. So the Vikings will give the ball. Pittsburgh has a 9 defense. Let me pull that up. Why is that not showing? There we go. And the Vikings have an 8 defense, and that corresponds with the offensive play calls. If the defense is higher than the offensive play call, the dice roll will go down 1, and vice versa. If the offensive play call is higher, it goes up 1. If it's even, it stays what the roll is. So 1st down for the Vikings. And they did not have a really good run game in 1974. So it's 1st down for the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to throw a screen pass. We're going to go with play number 11, and that's a 9, a screen pass to the fullback, Chuck Foreman. And that will stay even, but they have that play sniffed out as it's a D for the black die, and it's a 34. 34D, 34 at the right play call is complete for no yards. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 as Foreman is smothered under. Tackle by Mean Joe Green. And it's 2nd and 10 from the 20. So Tarkenton's first pass is complete, but for 0 yards. And Foreman has a 0-yard catch, which is a waste of one of his 4 possible receptions. He's down to 3 now. So 2nd and 10 from the 20. Handoff, Chuck Foreman. That's a 1. They're going to hand off to the fullback. This is a 7 offensive play against a 9 defense. They'll go down 2. They need a big dice roll here. And they again key Chuck Foreman. And that is a 36, and that's going to drop 35-34, and it's a 2-yard gain for Foreman, and it'll be 3rd and 8. So a 2-yard gain for Chuck Foreman, tackled by Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker. 3rd and 8 for the Vikings. So 2 yards for Foreman. Third and 8. Vikings are going to go with pass play now on 3rd and 8. They're going to go to a medium pass to their left end, Jim Lash. That's a 9, so it'll stay even. Medium pass, 16 to Jim Lash. Tarkenton fades back to pass, looking. And they got the receivers covered, so that's going to stay even. And they have the right play call. That's a 35. Can Tarkenton connect up with Lash on the 35E? Incomplete. So the Vikings go 3 and out. So far, it's mimicking the actual Super Bowl. The Vikings don't get anything started on offense. And Tarkenton with an incomplete pass. Now 1 for 2 for no yards. And the punter for the Vikings is Mike Escheid. He'll come out to punt from his 28. Back deep for the Steelers is Lynn Swan. So Escheid looking for a big punt here. And he gets a 45. We would have liked that on the throw. And that's a 46-yard punt. We're going to make it a 48. We'll back it up too, which makes it easier to count. And Swan fields it. So that's a 46-yard punt. Swan fields it at his 32. Here's Lynn Swan, and that's a 1-5 for Lynn Swan on the return. On the return. No yards. So good punt coverage as Jackie Wallace makes the tackle. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Steelers on their 32. So 1 for the punt and 1 for the return. 12 minutes to go in the first quarter here, Super Bowl IX, using our seasons we created with Fran Tarkenton Football. So here come the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Terry Bradshaw. Steelers had an excellent run game. And they're going to give it handoff to Franco Harris, the fullback. This is a 10 against an 8 defense. They'll go up 2. Handoff to Franco. And Franco gets the good dice roll, even though they're keying Harris. So that's a 45 on the 1 offensive play call. A 10 offensive play against an 8 defense. 45, 46, 55. Gain of 6 for Franco Harris. And it's going to be 2nd and 4. Second and 4, so Franco gets a 6-yard run. 2nd and 4. Again, they're going to give it inside Franco Harris. Same play. This time, it's a base defense as it's an X on the black die. And it's a 23. That's going to go up 2 as it's a 10 offensive play. 23. And that's going to go 24, 25 on a B. 4 yards and a first down. So Franco Harris, 2 carries, 10 yards. And it's 1st and 10 from the Steeler 41. 3 more ticks come off the play clock. So 4 yards for Franco. 15 carries still available for Harris. So 1st and 10 on the Steeler 42, excuse me. And they're going to go pitch out, Rocky Blyer. And the pitch out to the halfback is a 5, the offensive play to Blyer is a 9, so it's going to only move up 1 against the Vikings 8 defense. Pitch out Rocky Blyer. And that's a 26. Normally that would be a penalty, but it moves up 1. The 26 on an X, and that's a standard defense. So 2nd column, 26 goes to 33B. Only a gain of a yard tackle by Wally Hildenberg for the Vikings, and it'll be 2nd and 9 from the Pittsburgh 43. 10 minutes left in the first quarter. So Blyer's first carry, 1 yard. 6 carries remaining. So 2nd and 9. They're going to go back to Franco Harris, up the middle to Franco Harris. And this time he is smothered under. That's a 1-4. The D dice roll means they have the right defense. We haven't had to go to the green dice yet. And that's a 1-4 on an F in the first column. 1-4 goes 1-5, 1-6, no gain. So Franco smothered under, tackled by Jim Marshall. And that'll be 3rd and 8. No gain for Franco Harris. 3 carries, 10 yards. So 3rd and 8. Will Bradshaw throw his first pass? They were not a very good passing team in 1974. 3rd and 8. And they're going to go short pass 14, so short pass to the flanker. This is a 7. It'll go down 1 as the Vikings have an 8 defense. Bradshaw back to pass. Looking for Lewis. And they get a big roll there. It's a 56. It will go down 1, and they're keying the receivers. So 56E will go down to a 46, but it's caught for a 56. E, that's right there. 7 offensive play against an 8 defense. Goes down to a 55. 9 yards and a first down. They just pick it up on the completion from Bradshaw to Frank Lewis. And it's going to be 1st and 10 on the Viking 48. So Bradshaw completes his first pass for 9 yards and a first down. And Lewis makes his first reception for 9 yards. And I shall be back in a moment. Real life has interrupted once again. Thank you for your patience. And we are back. Thank you for your patience. Quick sound check. All right, sound check is good. 1st and 10 from the Viking 48 for the Pittsburgh Steelers as Bradshaw just completed his first pass for 9 yards to Lewis. And they're going to give the ball. They're going to hand it off to Rocky Blyer. That's the halfback, Rocky Blyer. And that's a 2 offensive play, which is the 9. So it's going to go up 1 against the 8 Viking rated defense. And here's Blyer, and that is a big run for Blyer. Up the middle goes Rocky Blyer, the Notre Dame graduate. On the base defense call, it's a X on the black die. We still haven't gone to the green dice yet. So the 56 goes to 66 on the B, and that's a 14-yard gain and another first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they have it 1st and 10 on the Viking 33. The Purple People Eaters are getting eaten up. 14-yard gain for Rocky Blyer. Under 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Pittsburgh driving on their first possession. So Blyer picks up 14. 5 runs left in him. He'll come out of the game, and Preston Pearson will come in at halfback. So it's Harris and Pearson in the backfield. And they're going to hand it off to Preston Pearson. This is also still a 9-play call. Hand off to Preston Pearson, the other halfback. And not as much success there. And black die is blank, but it's a 2. And it'll be a base defense on the 2 as that corresponds with the B defensive card. It's only a 1-4. It will go to a 1-5, no yards. So Preston Pearson smothered under by Wally Hildenberg and friends. So no yards for Preston Pearson. 6 carries left for him. So 2nd and 10 for the Steelers. 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2nd and 10. Power sweep, Franco Harris. That's a 10 against an 8 defense, so that's a 4 offensive play call. And Harris gets a 66! No matter what that is, it stays at 66, whether it was even if the offensive play was lower, 66 and double one stay put. They were keying Harris, though. So the 66 on the F is a 14-yard gain because that's keying the fullback. We still have not gone to the, well, we've only gone to the green die one. It's a D, so that's the right play call. But 14 yards for Harris and another first down. Down to the Viking 19. As Pittsburgh Steelers shoving the ball right down the Vikings' purple gang's throat. 14 yards for Harris. Still has 13 carries in him. So 1st and 10 from the 19. Harris will go out. He'll take a breather. Double halfback set. Rocky Bleier and Preston Pearson. They're going to hand it off to Rocky Bleier. And Bleier, they're keying the run, and Rocky Bleier, they're keying the halfback there. Right play call. It's a 35, and it's a 9, so it's going to go up 1 on the handoff to the halfback. 35 goes to 36 on a G, and that's a 3-yard gain for Rocky Bleier. So 2nd and 7 from the 16-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. As the Steelers continue to bludgeon the ball right at the Viking defense. 2nd and 7, Franco Harris back in, so it's a backfield of Harris and Preston Pearson. And they're going to hand it off to Franco. That's a 26 base defense. It's a 10, so that's against an 8 defense, so it's going to go up 2. So from 26, it goes 33, 34, 5-yard gain for Franco Harris. And it's 3rd and 2. For the Steelers on the Viking 11. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter, Franco Harris rips off a 5-yard run right up the middle. Brought down by Kraus, the safety. So 3rd and 2 from the 11 of Minnesota. Handoff Franco Harris again. Can the purple gang come up big? They're keying Harris. The black die is correct. So they have the right defensive play call. 3rd and 2. It's a 25, 26, 33, 1-yard gain. So Harris stopped 1 yard short. And it is 4th and 1 from the 10 here in the first quarter. So the Vikings, with 4 minutes to play, decision time for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as that was a 1-yard gain for Franco. And he is down to 11 carries now. A field goal here for Roy Girella. From the 10, you add 7, that's 17 yards. You would need a 14 or better. because I still think they're playing. In 74, they still had the goalpost in the middle of the field, I believe. Well, we're going to go with that. I didn't look that up. So we're going to go with that. So 3 points, 14 or better. We'll put the 3 points on the board. 4th and 1. Chuck Noll keeps the offense on the field. They're going for it. They are going for it. 4th and 1. They're going to give it to Franco Harris. Inside run to Franco. 2-6. And it's a 1. 8 men up in the box for the Vikings. 2-6. But it's going to go to a 3-3-3-4. 2 yards for Franco Harris. He picks up the first down. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 8. So the Steelers go for it on 4th and 1 as their run game continues to bludgeon the Vikings. So Harris picks up the 2 yards and the first down for Franco Harris. It's down to 10 carries now. We're going to have to start using someone else or we're going to lose Franco. So 1st and goal from the 8. Handoff Rocky Blyer, the halfback. It's a 9 offensive play against an 8 defense. And that is a 33. They're keying Blyer. 33. It will go up as the black die is a D, so that means they have the right defensive play call. 33 on a G or an A is the right defensive play call, so they have 8 men up in the box. 33 goes to 34. 2 yards for Blyer. 2 tough yards. And it's 2nd and goal from the 6. Just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. And this is a very long, methodical drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers, flexing their muscle and their run game. Blyer's down to 4 carries now. He'll come out of the game. Preston Pearson comes in, so it's a backfield of Harris and Pearson. And it is 2nd down and goal from the 6. Handoff Franco Harris. And it's a base defense. The black die is blank. And the green dies are 2, corresponds with the B. And that's a base defense. 25, a 10 offensive play against an 8 defense, is going to go 26-33 against a B. 4 yards. Down to the 2 goes Franco Harris. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2 with just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. So Harris picks up 4 yards. As Pittsburgh's had the ball practically the whole first quarter. 3rd and 2. They're going to give the ball to Preston Pearson, hoping that the Vikings are keying Harris. And they have the run defense called. 8 men up in the box, the right play call. It's a 34 on a 9 handoff. Inside run by the halfback, Preston Pearson. He'll go up from 34 to 35. 2 yards, touchdown! Preston Pearson breaks the plane of the goal line, and the Steelers go up 6-0. So Preston Pearson with the 2-yard plunge. So 2-yard touchdown, Preston Pearson. Two-yard TD run. Pearson for Pittsburgh. Late first quarter. So Pittsburgh, a very methodical drive. Only threw the ball once, but it was a big 3rd down completion for 9 yards. Bradshaw to Lewis. And then it was just a bludgeoning with their running game. 6-0. Roy Jarella will attempt the extra point. And the extra point, 13 and better, is good. A double 1 is a block. A 12 is a shank. Here's the extra point by Roy Jarella. The holder is the punter, Bobby Walden. And it's a 66. He bangs it through. So 7-0. Jarella makes the extra point. Kick. Good. And with only seconds left in the first quarter, Jarella will kick off to the Vikings, who now trail 7-0. So Jarella will kick off from his 40. Last kickoff went into the end zone. And Wallace down, the kick returner, McCullum, downed it. So here is the kickoff by Roy Jarella. And that's a 1-4. He doesn't boom it the way he did the other time, 50 yards, so it's down to the 10-yard line. And McCullum will return it. And this will end the first quarter. It's a 66! So McCullum, behind great blocking, gets a long gainer. Brent McCullum. Am I pronouncing his name right? Brent MCC. Yeah, McCullum. So Brent McCullum gets a long gainer. Here's the long gainer roll. 22. We were hoping for something better than that if you're a Vikings fan. Long gainer, 22. 35 yards. 10, 20, 30, 35. Out to the 45-yard line. And that ends the first quarter, 7-0 Pittsburgh. Oh, we were hoping for a bigger roll for that if you're a Vikings fan. So McCullum, 35 yards. So 1st and 10 for Fran Tarkenton and the Vikings. They went 3 and out. Have to reverse their fortune here. As we erase the tick-tock clock. After 1 quarter of football, the Vikings 0, the Steelers 7. Here comes Fran Tarkenton. Again, they don't have the running game that the Steelers have. They're more of a passing-oriented team. Though they didn't throw the ball a tremendous amount of times. Fluctuated between games. So here's Fran Tarkenton. He is 1 for 2 for no yards. He had a 0-yard completion to Chuck Foreman. And they're going to go short pass right off the bat. Short pass. Vikings are going to go short pass to John Holland, their backup left end. Short pass to John Holland. So Tarkenton goes back to pass on 1st down, and it's a 36, and that's a 9 against a 9 defense, stays put. And the black die is blank, and it's a 3, so it's a blitz. So the Steelers sending Jack Lambert up the middle on the blitz. 33 on the C. Caught for 7 yards. They beat the blitz with a short pass to Holland. It'll be 2nd and 3. So Tarkenton completes a 7-yard pass to Holland. It's the only reception he's allotted. Again, that can change. See how the game goes. So Holland makes his reception, and it's 2nd and 3 on the Pittsburgh 48. They beat the blitz, 2nd and 3. Tarkenton bought himself some time. Quickly released the ball, though, so 2nd and 3. And they're going to go handoff hand off to Dave Osborne, the halfback. This is a 7 against a 9 defense, so it's going to go down 2. We need a big roll here, and they get the big roll for Osborne, even though they're keying him. The black die is a D. Again, that Pittsburgh steel curtain. Osborne rolls a 55 against the correct call, so 55 goes down to 45, 4 yards in the first down. So Osborne, tough running on the inside, and it's 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 44. And that's the first down for the Minnesota Vikings. Four yards for Osborne. 9 carries left, so 1st and 10. Screen pass, Chuck Foreman to the fullback on 1st and 10. This is a 9 offensive play against a 9 defense. And it's a 25 against a 6. And they have Foreman as the 6 corresponds with the F defensive card, which is Key the fullback. Yep. So they have the right play call. 25 will stay at a 25. Incomplete. Had it been C, D, or G, it would have been 10 yards, but it's incomplete. Tarkenton. Incomplete. You forgot to mark off the Osborne run. And now 2 for the incompletion. Under 13 minutes to play in the half. 2nd and 10. So that's incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Tarkenton on 2nd and 10 is going to go for it all on 2nd and 10. He's going to go deep to John Gilliam. This is a 10. He's going bomb. It's a 10 play call against a 9 defense. It's going to go up as he's looking for Gilliam, his flanker. So that's a 21 on the offensive play chart. And they have Gilliam covered like a blanket. The 1-4 goes to 1-5 on the E. Incomplete. So Tarkenton went for it all. John Gilliam. Incomplete. Two incomplete passes in a row for Tarkenton, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 now. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 from the Pittsburgh 44. Pittsburgh's up 7-0. Fran Tarkenton and the Vikings are going to go with short pass to their left end. Short pass to the left end. Lash. Hoping that the Steelers are blitzing. This is a 9 offensive play against a 9 defense. Here's the pass from Tarkenton to Lash. And it's a 25. It will stay a 25 against a 9, which is a base defense. If it's a blank black die and a green 9 or a green 0, it's a base defense. So 25. Short pass to the left end. 25. And that's a pickup of 5. But he's quickly tackled by Andy Russell. So 4th and 5. Make sure I did that right. 4th and 5 from the 39. I don't think they're in Fred Cox field goal range. From the 39, you add 7. 46-yard field goal. You'd have to roll 66. Yeah, he's not making that. And we're going to adjust and he wasn't a good field goal kicker anyway from distance. So 4th and 5. 5-yard completion for Tarkenton to Lash. There's one left. Tarkenton has 2 completions for 12 yards. In 3 completions, he had that 0-yard completion to Chuck Foreman on the screen. So 3 completions, he's 3 of 6. For 12 yards. 4th and 5 from the 39. They're going to keep the offense on the field. Bud Grant taking a chance here. Let's see, we need a low roll to pooch punt. 14 and under, we can pin him back. Unless it's an 11, that means they blocked it. We punt it in the end zone. They start 1st and 10 at their 20. 4th and 5. The Vikings are going to go for it on 4th and 5. Short pass on 4th and 5 to the tight end, Stu Voigt. That's a 15. So they're going to go short to Stu Voigt. It's a 9 play against a 9 defense. 4th and 5. Can Tarkenton come through in the clutch? Double ones on the right play call. And that is picked off. Fran Tarkenton is picked off right at the first down marker. Jack Ham with the interception. And Pittsburgh will take over at their 34. So Jack Ham picks off Fran Tarkenton. You have to mark 3 before for the completion and 2 for the interception. So with 10 minutes to play, Tarkenton throws a pick to Jack Ham as he tried to force it into Stu Voigt, the tight end. And that is an interception. And getting the pick is Jack Ham. So Jack Ham gets the interception. Jack Ham. Interception. And that drive ends. The Vikings drive into Steeler territory. So the Steelers will take over now, 1st and 10 on their 34. 10 minutes to play in the first half, 7-0. The run game has bludgeoned the Vikings. Pearson, 2-yard touchdown run. Extra point was good, 7-0 Steelers. So 1st and 10. 1st and 10. And they're going to give the ball to Franco Harris. Handoff. 10 offensive play against an 8 defense. It'll go up 2, and that's a 36. They're keying Franco Harris. It's a D on the black die. So 36 goes to 44, 45. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6 for the Steelers. Second and 6. Handoff. Rocky Bleier. They'll stick with the inside game. Their offensive line is doing damage to the Purple Gang up front. So handoff Rocky Bleier. That's a 9 offensive play call. That's a 2 handoff to the halfback against an 8 defense. It'll go up 1. And that's a 26. It would have been a penalty, but it goes up 1. And the black die is an X, so it's a base defense. Either way, it would have been a base defense. The green is a 0. So 26 on a B goes to 33, and that's 4 yards for Bleier. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Brought down by Alan Page. So it's 3rd and 2 for the Steelers on their 41. Rocky Bleier gets 4 yards. Down to 3 carries. 3rd and 2. He will go out. Preston Pearson will come in, the man with the 2-yard touchdown run. And they're going to give, on 3rd and 2, actually, they're going to give it to Franco Harris. They want to pick up this first down. Harris, handoff up the middle. 10 offensive play against an 8 defense. The dice roll will go up 2. And they're keying Harris, but it doesn't matter because that's a 45 on the right play call. And it's a 46, 55, 6 yards. Franco Harris and a first down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First and 10 on the Pittsburgh 48 as the Steelers' run game continues to churn. Under 8 minutes of play in the first half, Steelers up 7-0. And another 6 yards for Franco. Now has 8 carries in him. So first and 10. As it's Harris and Pearson in the backfield. They've only thrown the ball once. Bradshaw 1 for 1 for 9 yards, and that was a clutch pitch and catch to Lewis on a 3rd and 9 on their first drive. So Pearson and Franco Harris in the backfield. They're going to go pitch out to Preston Pearson, and the pitch out is a 5, and it's a 9 play call for Preston Pearson. So it'll go up 1. Here's the pitch out to Preston Pearson, and that's a 14. They're keying the run and Pearson, so 14 will go to 15, no yards. So Pearson cannot turn the corner. He's pushed out of bounds by Jackie Wallace, the cornerback, coming up to play the run. 7 minutes to play in the first half. No yards for Preston Pearson. So he has 3 carries, no yards, a 2-yard touchdown run, and no yards. There's 4 carries left in him. Second and 10 from the 48. Bradshaw will go back to pass on 2nd and 10. And he's going to look for Rocky Blyer on the flare pass, number 12. And that's a 7. It's going to go down 1 on the flare pass. 9. Yep. Flare pass to Rocky Blyer on 2nd and 10. And that's a 26. It will go down 1. They have the right defensive play call. It is a D. So they have 8 men up in the box, and they get to that flare. So 26 goes to 25, incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10 with just over 6 minutes to play in the half. 7-0 Steelers. So Blyer, incomplete. It's only the 2nd pass Bradshaw's thrown. He's now 1 for 2 for 9 yards. 2nd and 10. Bradshaw's got to hook up with another completion here for at least 10 yards to pick up the first. They're going to go not a lot of good options passing the ball here against a good defense. They're going to go short. Short pass to the left end, Shanklin. And that's a 7. So it will go down 1 on the dice roll against the 8 defense. Sideline pattern to Shanklin from Bradshaw. And it's a 56. Bradshaw zips it in there. The defense, the black die is blank. The defense is a 6. And that's keying Franco Harris. So that's an F. And it's a 56. It'll drop down to a 55 and an F. That's a gain of 16. Bradshaw and Shanklin come through in the clutch. They're now on the Minnesota 36, 1st and 10. So Bradshaw zips that ball into Shanklin as they were keying Franco Harris. possibly on a screen or a fullback circle pattern out of the backfield. Just under 6 minutes to play. Pittsburgh has the ball, so Schenkel, 16-yard reception. He has 1 reception left in him. 16 yards, so Bradshaw is now 2 of 3 for 25 yards and 2 clutch third down conversions. That's all you can ask for by the youngster. 1st and 10 on the 36. Handoff Franco Harris. 10 offensive play. It's a 1 play call off the chart against an 8 defense. It will go up 2, and it will be a 6-6 as it is a 5-6. Can only go up to 6-6. A base defense, and that's a 13-yard gain for Franco Harris. Down to the Vikings 24-yard line. So again, the Vikings can't get off the field on a 3rd and long, and Harris rips off a big run on 1st down, and there's 5 minutes to play in the half, 7-0 Pittsburgh, and they're threatening for more. So that was a handoff, 13 yards for Franco Harris. And he's down to 7 runs, 1st and 10 from the 24. Handoff Rocky Blyer. They're going to stick with that inside game. It's worked so well. This is a 9-run play against an 8 defense. It only goes up 1, and they smother this under as the base defense. It's an X, but they quickly move to Blyer and close the hole up. A 1-3 goes to a 1-4. B handoff halfback. No yards for Blyer. So Rocky Blyer has 2 carries left in him. He struggled to get going today. He did have that 1 14-yard run. No yards, 2nd and 10 from the 24. As 3 ticks come off the clock as we move closer to halftime. Steelers hoping to put some more up on the board. 2nd and 10. Oh, sweep. If we can get to the outside, it's a bigger play. Power sweep to Franco Harris. They're going to go outside run fullback. That is the 4. It's still a 10 play call. As you go to the chart, you can see it's a 10 play call. The 4 is a 10 against an 8 defense. It's going to go up 2 rolls. Can Harris turn the corner, or can the purple gang stop him? It's a 35 base defense. Black die is blank, but it's a 0, which goes to the base defense. So a 35 base defense on the power sweep to the fullback goes to 36-44, 4-yard gain for Franco. And it's going to be 3rd and 6 now. Just over 3 minutes to play. Ball on the 19-yard line of the Vikings. That's a 4-yard gain for Franco. Six rushes left in him. We really used him a lot. So 3rd and 6, 7-0 Steelers. 3rd and 6. Preston Pearson. That's good for 1 reception. 3rd and 6. But Rocky Blyer's the better pass receiver. It's a 7 on the flare pass. And what is it? Third and 6. Bradshaw's going to throw the ball, and he's going to look for Lynn Swan. Swan can be targeted once. 14. 3rd and 6. Short pass to the flanker, Lynn Swan. on 36. And this time there's no Terry Bradshaw magic, as that is a 1-4, plus it goes down 1 to a 1-3 on a 9 on the green die, which becomes a base defense because the black die is blank. So a 1-3B. Bradshaw just avoids the sack. Incomplete. And it's 4th and 6 with 3 minutes to play in the first half. So he cannot connect up with the youngster Lynn Swan. Bradshaw's incomplete. Bradshaw now. Two of 4 for 25 yards. So it is 4th down, and I forgot to mark off the... No, I did. 4th down and 6. And here comes Roy Girella to attempt the field goal from the 19. I might have made a mistake, but I don't remember. So that'll be a 26-yard field goal attempt for Girella. He needs a dice roll of 23 or better. The holder is the punter, Bobby Walden. Girella sets up for the field goal. The snap, the place, the kick, and it's a 56. Roy Girella bangs it through on the 25-yard field goal. Steelers go up 10-0. And that's 2 for the field goal. Oh, we gotta go 2 for the incomplete, 2 for the field goal. 2-minute warning. Steelers up 10-0. So Girella bangs through a 25-yard field goal. 26-yard field goal. 10-0 Steelers. Late second quarter. $25-yard field goal. Girella. So it's 10-0. Steelers. After the interception by Jack Ham, leads to 3 points. Girella will kick off. Back deep is McCullum. He had a 35-yard return. On his last kickoff return. So here's Girella to kick off. 2 minutes to play in the half. 10-0 Steelers. And it's a 1-4 on the kickoff. 1-4 is 50 yards. So again, McCullum will have a chance to return from his 10. Can he rip off another long run? And it's a 36 on the return. 36. And it's a 30-yard return. Another good return by McCullum. Out to the Viking 40. So they're going to start off in decent field position once again. But not a lot of time left on the clock. 1 for the kick, 1 for the return. Under 2 minutes to play now. And when you call a timeout in this game, no ticks go off the clock. So we will call timeout right off the bat. And Tarkenton will come out firing the ball down by 10. Tarkenton has only completed 3 passes for 12 yards. He's thrown a pick to Jack Ham, which led to that field goal. So Fran Tarkenton is going to look deep for John Gilliam, flanker. Deep pass to the flanker. That's number 21. It's a 10 against a 9 defense. Will go up 1, and it's a 33. Black die is blank. It's a 5. My God, the Pittsburgh Steelers get those defensive rolls. They're doubling the receivers, so that's well covered as they're playing a deep coverage. And the 33E goes to 34, incomplete. So no time off the clock. We call timeout. And we'll use our second timeout, so another incomplete pass for Tarkenton. Second and 10. Second and 10. They're going to go deep once again to John Gilliam, number 21. Play call. And they have it keyed again, 33. Goes to 34, so twice he goes deep to Gilliam, and twice it is incomplete. They'll use their last timeout now. So 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10. Gilliam has 2 receptions in him. He hasn't caught any yet. So 3rd and 10 for Tarkenton. What's a median pass? Median pass to flanker is a 17. I think that's a 9. 17, 9 it is. But we're going to go deep again to John Gilliam. We need that big roll. Big roll. Tarkenton and Gilliam. Can they pull it off? No, they shan't. As once again, that is a 1-2 against the right defensive call, D. And a 1-2 will move up to a 1-3. And that is picked off. Fran Tarkenton throws for the end zone. It's picked off at the 10. By the safety. The pickoff will go to Mike. We're going to give it to Mel Blunt, the cornerback. Mel Blunt with the pickoff. So Tarkenton goes for broke to John Gilliam, and it's picked off at the 10. How eerily similar is this to the actual game? Wow. Except they beheaded John Gilliam when it got picked off at the end of the half. Look it up. John Gilliam got picked off at the end of the half. It's unbelievable. I'm just telling you, this is frightening. Again, it's just dice rolling, but it's kind of funny. So Tarkenton throws his second interception on a deep ball to Gilliam. And it's picked off. We're going to give it to Mel Blount. So Blount, interception, late second quarter. Jerry Ball has joined us in the chat. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well. He says, just checking in to say hi. Well, thank you very much. So, Tarkenton's interception, that is eerily similar to the Super Bowl. Look it up. I'm telling you, look it up. Unbelievable. Wow. So, Pittsburgh will take over 10-0. Ball on their own 10. And we're not going to, we have one timeout left. We will take it. Maybe they'll fumble the ball. So we will take a timeout. And Pittsburgh, you really don't want to use Harris in this situation because you don't want to waste a run. This game, you know, the way I set it up, it plays where they only have so many carries. Took that idea from 2nd and 10. And again, I'm going to keep tweaking it. So Blyer has 2 carries left, and Preston Pierce, but you also don't want to fumble the ball. Terry Bradshaw's a good scrambler, and he has, how many runs does Terry Bradshaw have? Bradshaw has 4 runs allotted to him. And Bradshaw, Terry Bradshaw up the middle is a 10. So they're going to go up the middle with Terry Bradshaw. We've called timeout. And they're going to go up the middle with Terry Bradshaw. This is our last timeout. Bradshaw 10 against an 8 defense. And that is a 34 up the middle against a 6. Because the black die is blank. So a 6 is keying the fullback, Franco Harris. So that's an F. So Bradshaw up the middle on an F, 34, 35, 36, F. And it's 2 yards for Terry Bradshaw. There are no timeouts left. and it's 2nd and 8. They have to go 1, 2, 3. They have 2 plays left, but we have to let them run it, so they have to make a decision here. You don't want to use your good players, but you don't want to fumble either. They're going to bring in Davis. Davis, the kick returner, is also a running back. He's a halfback. Davis will come in the game, but he drops down to a 7. You know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to give the ball to Preston Pearson. Handoff halfback, Preston Pearson. And that is a base defense, as it's an X, so they go to base defense. 35 on a 9 offensive play against an 8 defense. It'll go to a 36B, and that's 6 yards to the handoff to Preston Pearson. And it's 3rd and 2, one more play, and that'll be the half. So one more play. So get 6 yards for Preston Pearson. Kind of didn't want to waste the run, but you don't want to fumble the ball either, because an 8 against a 7 could go down 1. You roll a 1-2, it goes a 1-1, and it becomes a fumble. So you got to think about that. So 6 yards for Pearson. He's down to 3 runs. We really don't want to use. We got 5 runs between him and Blyer. And we're going to give it to Terry Bradshaw. We'll plunge into the line one more time. And I'll leave him with 2 runs. We kind of want to save those in case we get in a close situation near the goal line. So Terry Bradshaw, the quarterback sneak. And it's a base defense, as the black die is blank. The green die is 0, means base defense. 1-4, and that will go up to 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, 1 yard. And that's the half. 10-0 Steelers. So Bradshaw had runs, 2 runs of 2 and 1. So he has 3 rushing yards, 3 yards rushing. And that's the half. 10-0 Steelers. Another half of football to play, and that's eerily similar to how the first half was played. Let's take a quick look as I have that up. I'll just read it to you quick. Again, this is me testing out the season I made with these 2 teams. These are the first 2 teams I made. So 10-0 in our game at the half. And at the half, that's right, it was 2-0 on the safety. They got Tarkenton for the safety, so it was 2-0 at the half. All right, not that far off. The Vikings got the ball first, so they'll be kicking to the Steelers. So the Steelers will get the ball first in the 3rd quarter. Pete Bo Sox fans in the chat. Long time no see, my friend. How are you? He says, hi, Al. I played many games years ago with this game, as well as the sister game, Vince Lombardi Football, which I still have. Fun stuff. Yes, it is. I'm creating the 74 season and the 58 season. Not all the teams, though. I'm only going to do, like, the playoff teams. And, of course, my beloved New England Patriots. So, and in 58, only the teams that had a 500 record or better. What I've done, I've actually give a few individual ratings, Pete Bo Sox fan, and I'm going to continue to tweak the game. So it's going to be somewhat different with some individual ratings still off charts, though. I like this game. It's a lot of fun. Hope you're doing well on this Labor Day. As Pete Bo Sox fan says, can you please explain how you are using the black and green die? Yes, I can, Pete. Yes, I can. Bear with me a moment. Okay, so you remember in this game there's 8 corresponding defensive cards. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So that's 8. So the black die is from my Stratomatic basketball game. And what I've come up with, if you roll a D, and there's 2 Ds on this, if you roll a D, that's the right play call. It's the best defensive play call possible. Okay? If you roll an X, it's a base defense, which is a B, which is fair against every play. If you roll blank, we then go to the green die. If the green die is 1 through 8, it corresponds like a 1 is an A, a 2 is a B, a 3 is a C, so on and so forth. So, an 8 would be coverage on the tight end. Okay, 1 through 8 corresponds with the defensive play cards. Obviously, this is if you're playing solitaire. If you're playing with someone else, they would pick their defense. Now, that being said, I decided to use, it's really a 10-sided die because there's a 0 and a 9. So if you get a 0 after a blank black die, it's also a base defense. And if you get a 9, it's also a base defense. And it seems to work out pretty good. So hopefully that explains it. We're going to move on to the third quarter. Now feel free to ask any questions, Pete Bo Sox fan. Long time no chat. Hope you are well. I was looking for, this was the game that got me hooked on Sim Sports. I pulled it out. I still had it. My uncle gave this to my brother and myself way back when. Not 1968. I mean, it was like, we started playing this in the late 70s, me and my brother. So the Vikings will, and I'm also going to, what I'm going to do, Pete, as he says, thanks, very ingenious. Well, I looked at what other people were doing, trying to play games solitaire, and just gave me the idea, that's all. I remembered I had my basketball game. I said, there's a black die in there. I still have that from, I never liked Stratomatic basketball card and dice just doesn't flow well. And I didn't, for me, when I was a kid, it is too much looking up stuff. So, I'm going to also actually eventually have kicker and punter ratings. So I'm going to make this like my own game, using this as the base game. So, and once I get it done, I'll just, if someone wants it, I think I'll just let them. I've set up spreadsheets, as you can see, it's up there. I don't know how well you can see it, but just to show that I'm not pulling the numbers out of my butt. I actually took time. I used footballreference.com, profootballreference.com, and I just kind of reverse engineered it. To be honest with you, they kind of skewed the numbers to the NFL. It's very difficult for an AFL team on that 68th season to beat an NFL team. They're skewed so bad for the NFL. Hello, Stranac, Delaware. Hope all is well. Happy Labor Day. As Pete Bo Sox fans, the same company, RGI, also made Gil Hodges baseball, Oscar Robertson basketball, and Rod Gilbert hockey. Oh, really? I'd love to get my hands on some of those. I think this game flows well. Again, it went off to the total value of a play as opposed to individual players. I'm still keeping it to the total value, but I'm also bringing a little individual player into it. So, all right, so it's the third quarter, and kicking off for the Vikings is Fred Cox. And back deep on the kickoff is Steve Davis for the Steelers, who are up 10-0. Here's the kickoff from Cox, and it's a 1-4. The Vikings just not getting the dice rolls. 1-4, 50 yards down to the 10. So 2 ticks for the kickoff and the return. And here comes Davis upfield, and that's a 35 on the kick return. That's a 29-yard return out to the 39-yard line of Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh with fairly good field position. They have bludgeoned the Vikings with their run game. And again, I've modded it where you can only run the ball so much with each back. And we'll continue to mod it. Right now, Franco Harris, again, he rushed the ball 34 times in the Super Bowl. I get that. But off an average, not saying that he always did this, but when he went in profootballreference.com, he carried the ball anywhere from an average of all the games together, 17 carries. So that's what I gave him. That way you're just not constantly feeding him the ball. Again, it's just my rules. You can play whatever way you want with whatever game you have, and I'm just trying to make it. Because when I was a kid, I used to just play as the Giants a lot and just have Fran Tarkenton scramble. My friends would go nuts because he's a 10 out of 10 scrambler. All right, so here come the Steelers. 1st and 10 to start off the second half, up 10-0 on their own 39. Franco Harris still has 6 rushes in him. Blyer 2, Pearson 3, and Davis 4. But again, that can change as the game goes on. They're going to give the ball to Franco Harris, who has battered the Vikings. And it's going to be a handoff. Inside run to the fullback. And this time they're ready for Franco. Black dies a D. They have the right play call. 2-5 goes up 2-10 run play for Franco Harris against an 8 defense. So it goes from 2-5 to 2-6 to 3-3, 1 yard. As he's smothered under by the 8-man front, the tackle will go to Jim Marshall, and it'll be 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 for the Steelers. Bradshaw has completed 2 passes, and they were clutch, both 3rd and long conversions. A 9-yarder on the first one to Lewis, and then a 16-yarder to Schenkel. So 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 from the Pittsburgh 40. And they're going to go with a short pass. A short pass to the left end, Schenkel. So a short pass is a 13. We go to our corresponding play chart for offense. 13 to Schenkel's a 7 against an 8 defense. It'll go down 1. Can Bradshaw boogie whip this pass in there to Schenkel? Yes, he can. He burns the base defense. It's a 55. It'll go down 1. 55 to a 46. Complete for 15 yards. 10 to the 45 of the Vikings. So once again, Bradshaw with a big completion on 2nd and long this time. He didn't wait for 3rd down. And Schenkel, with his 2nd reception, he is done for the day. Unless everyone else gets their receptions, then it comes back around. And he has 31 yards. 2 receptions, 31 yards. That's kind of eerily close to what he averaged. So, 1st and 10 on the Minnesota 45. Hello, Ken Castro. How are you, my friend? So 1st and 10 on the 45 now, as Pittsburgh's looking to add to their 10-0 lead here in the 3rd quarter. And they're going to give the ball. Davis is going to get a carry here on 1st and 10 from the 45. Inside run to Davis. It's a 7. It drops down by 2 from either Pearson or Blyer, as he's another halfback. But I kind of have to give him some carries or we're going to wipe out our halfbacks. So this will go down 1, handoff to Davis. And he gets a good roll here. So Davis will get a clutch run. As the black dies blank, and it is a 6. And they're keying Franco Harris. Oh boy, wrong play call. As the 6 corresponds with the F card. So if A is 1, E is 5, F is 6. And so they cross them up with a handoff to the 3rd string halfback, Davis. It is a 45 against a 7 play call against an 8 defense. Wrong play, F, last column, 45 is 9 yards, but it goes to a 44. 8-yard gain for Davis, and it'll be 2nd and 2. Wow, nice run by Davis. And 3 ticks come off the clock. That's what you want when you're basically trying not to use up all your good runs. So Davis is down to 3 carries. He picks up 8 yards. That is clutch. So 2nd and 2. Davis goes off the field. Coming back in is Rocky Blyer. Blyer has 2 carries left. And they're going to hand it off to Rocky Blyer, as he's a 9 offensive play call for the 2 against the 8 defense. And Blyer, this will go up 1. They're keying the run, but to no avail. It's a 55. The D is the right play call. 8 men up in the box, keying Blyer, 55. Handoff, so it's a First column, you can call it an A or a G. It doesn't matter. That's the best play call. 55 goes up to 56. 8 yards for Blyer and a first down. Down to the 29-yard line of the Vikings. Again, the run game for Pittsburgh, bludgeoning the Purple Gang up front. And 3 ticks go off the clock. So Blyer picks up 8. Seemed to get the rolls for Pittsburgh. He's down to 1 carry left. Save Rocky. Preston Pearson has 3 carries left. He has the only touchdown, a 2-yard plunge. An ST plunge into the end zone. So 1st and 10. Franco Harris still has 6 carries. And they're going to go power sweep to Franco Harris. And it's a 26, which normally would be a penalty. But because it's a 10 against an 8 defense, it goes up 2. They're keying Franco Harris. It's a black die D. So 26 on the power sweep goes to 34. And they're keying him. 34. Where is that? 34F. 2-yard gain. So he can't turn the corner. And it's going to be 2nd and 8. But more importantly, clock ticks come off the clock. 11 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. And it's 2nd and 8. And Franco's down to 5 carries on that 2-yard gain. So 2nd and 8. Hand off Preston Pearson, the halfback. 46. They have the right play call, so they have the run defense, but it's a 46, a 9 against an 8. Hand off to Preston Pearson. And again, you can make your choice. 8 men in the box or keying the halfback. Doesn't matter. It's the right. Those two are the right defensive play calls. 46. First column goes to 55, 6 yards. And it'll be 3rd and 2. Third and 1. No, 3rd and 2. So I must have pushed that up too many for Franco. 1, 2. 3rd and 2. Oh, no, because it was here. That's why. I was right. There it goes. 3rd and 2. So a 6-yard run for Preston Pearson. Back-to-back 6-yard runs for Preston Pearson. And he's down to 2 carries. Again, this is the rules I've made up modding this game. Actually, once you get the way to rate the plays, I went pretty quick with the Vikings. The Steelers took me longer because it was the first one I did, but it's not that bad. So 3rd and 2, how do you do? Hey, diddle, diddle up the middle, but Franco Harris, 3rd and 2. 10 offensive play against an 8 defense. Inside run, Franco. And it is an 8. Black dice blink 8. They're watching the tight end on the short pass. A 1-6. And it'll go up 2 on the H, which is the middle column. 1-6. 2-2-2-3. 3 yards. So Franco plows forward for 3, and it's 1st and 10. From the Viking 17. Viking 18. Under 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. so many runs. Franco's now down to 4 carries. And he got 3 yards there, another first down. And did we clock time? I think we did. So 1st and 10. Rocky Blyer will get his last run here. And it's going to be a pitch out to Rocky Blyer. 44. It's a 9 against an 8 defense. Against a base defense. Black dies blank. 9 comes up on the green die. Moves to the base defense. So 44 moves to 45. And the 45 on the base defense pitch out. 5 yards for Blyer. And that's going to be as the thing moved. Second and 5, so Rocky Bleier has no more rushes in him. Again, that can change. If we go through everyone's rushes, then we just start running people who we want. So we've used Bleier up. He's got his 7 carries. Not a bad day for Rocky. So that's 5 more yards. Second and 5. Preston Pearson comes in the game. Preston Pearson has 2 carries left. Franco Harris 4. And Davis 3. So we should start using Davis so we can get back around to just running what the hell we want. So second and 5. Hand off Franco Harris. And that is a black dyed blank. And it's a 6. And they're keying Harris 1-5. It'll go up to 2-2. So it goes 1-5, 1-6, 2-2. No yards. Harris smothered under at the line of scrimmage. 8 minutes left in the third quarter. 3 carries left for Franco. So 3rd and 5. Chip shot field goal here for Roy Girella. We're not going to get cute here. Hand off Preston Pearson. They're going to stay with the inside game with the backup halfback, who actually shares time with Rocky Bleier. Here's the handoff. Preston Pearson, he had a 2-yard touchdown run. And Pearson, base defense, it's an X, black X, base defense, so you disregard the green die. 22 on a 9 against an 8, so it'll go to a 23, and it's 2 yards for Preston Pearson. Down to the 11, and it's 4th. Should be 4th and 3. 4th and 3, as I sometimes moved a little marker with my hand by accident. Either way, we're kicking the field goal. So here comes Roy Girella to try to kick another field goal, another good long drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Preston Pearson's down to 1 carry. So here's Roy Girella. It's an 11-yard from the 11-yard line, and we're still playing, assuming, I can't remember if the goalposts were still in the middle, but I'm going to play it that way. I didn't look it up. So 11 at 7, because they hang out over the goal line. It's an 18-yard field goal attempt. So a 14 or better, and Girella bangs through another field goal, and he gets a 25, and it is good. He bangs through the 18-yard field goal, and it's now 13-0. And that's 2 with under 7 minutes to play. Did we mark Pearson? I don't think we marked Pearson. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. And it's 13-0 Steelers as Roy Girella hits the 18-yard field goal. So Girella with his second field goal. 18-yard field goal. 13-0 Steelers. And that's at the 6-minute mark. Third quarter. 18-yard field goal. Girella. Well, so far, it's not too far off than what they really did. Kind of happy so far with my ratings. I kind of would like Tarkin to get a touchdown here, though. So here's the kickoff for Pittsburgh at their 40, and Roy Girella with 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. The Vikings have to get busy. So Girella will kick deep, will attempt to kick deep to Brent McCullum. And McCullum's had 2 really good returns. 35. I think they were both a 35 and a 36, I think, or a 38. I didn't write the second one down. I'm going to say it was a 36. Looking for another good return here. He had a long gainer, but we rolled low. We only got 35 yards on it. So here's Jarrella to kick off from his 40. And again, that's a 15. And that's a 50-yard kickoff down to the 10. So McCullum will have a chance. Go 1-2 on the kick off in the return. So here's Brent McCullum. And it's a 1-6. No magic this time. On the kick return, 1-6, 22 yards. Out to the 32-yard line of the Vikings. So time is running short. With just over 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. And the Vikings down 13-0. Tarkenton has thrown 2 picks. Jack Ham had a pick, and then Mel Blount on the deep pass to John Gilliam picked him off just before the half. So 1st and 10. 1st and 10. The run game's been non-existent, just like in the Super Bowl. 1st and 10. They're going to go screen pass, which is an 11, and that is a 9, so it'll stay even. Screen pass to Chuck Foreman, their all-purpose back. Can Chuck Foreman and Fran Tarkenton hook up for some decent yardage? And it is they're keying Foreman, because the black D, 35 stays at a 35. And it's caught for 2 yards. So a 2-yard gain on the screen to Foreman, as quickly blowing it up was the Steel Curtain defense. 1-2. Forcing Foreman out of bounds. The tackle will be credited to Wagner, the safety, as he came up quickly. Under 5 minutes to play. So Tarkenton, the 2-yard completion. Chuck Foreman has not been able to get on track. And he's down to 2 receptions available. So 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. Tarkenton is going to look for McCullum, the backup flanker. Let me just make sure. On a short pass, it's a 14 to McCullum. And that's a 9. He's only allotted 1 reception, so hopefully we get good yardage if it's a completion. So he's trying to hook up to McCullum, trying to catch Pittsburgh in a blitz. They have the right play call. It's a D, and we rolled like poop. 1-2 will stay a 1-2. And they have the right play call on the short pass to the flanker. And that's an E. And that is a sack. So Tarkenton is sacked by Mean Joe Green. That is a loss of 4. Let me make sure. 1-4. 9 against the 9 defense. That's even. We threw a 1-2. And it's a D. So it's a right play call. Again, you can pick it's either standard defense or, base defense, which is fair against everything, or an E. It doesn't matter. That's the right play call column. And it's a 1-2, so Tarkenton is sacked for 4 yards. And now I'll bring up 3rd and 12. So Tarkenton, who has been under pressure all game, is sacked by Mean Joe Green. And it's 3rd and 12. So sack Joe Green -4, 3rd quarter. So Tarkenton -4, sack. Tarkenton can't get anything going. The Vikings offense has been anemic, just like in the real game. So it is a 3rd and, when I say 3rd and 4, that's not right. 3rd and 12. And he's going to go deep to his flanker, John Gilliam, 21. Offensive play call. It's a 10 against the 9 defense. It'll go up 1. Tarkenton going for it all. And unlike Bogey and Bacali will not get it. The black die is blank. And it's a 9, so it's a base defense. 22 goes to 23, and that is incomplete, folks. And they will have to punt. So the Vikings will have to punt. It's a common theme in this game. With 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and Pittsburgh up 13-0. So another incomplete pass for Fran Tarkenton. And here comes the punter, Mike Escheid. And he will punt to Lynn Swan. So he's punting from his 30. Swan back for Pittsburgh. And it's a 24. We just don't get good dice rolls for the Vikings. 24 on the punt. And it's a 42-yard punt. Swan will field it at the 28. One for the punt, one for the return. And here comes Lynn Swan. And it's a 1-6. So the 1-6, Swan, and once again, is swarmed under by the punt coverage. No gain. So Lynn Swan gets nothing, and he'll like it. So here comes Pittsburgh, 1st and 10 from their 28, up 13-0. Franco Harris has 3 carries left. Blyer's done with carries. Preston Pearson has a carry left. And Davis has 3 carries left. So let's get Davis's carries out of the way. That way we can work our way back. Once we get all the carries out of the way, then it's open game for whoever we want to run. So that leaves the fourth quarter open to bludgeon them with Franco Harris. So Davis on a handoff. That's a 7, so it'll go down 1. Handoff to the halfback, Davis. And, man, Davis going to come through with a clutch run. Black die is blank. It's a 5, so they're covering the wide receivers. Bad defensive play call there. And the 46 will drop down 1, though. Handoff E, second column on the 2. On the 2 inside run. So it's a 46. And it'll drop to a 45 on the E. That's 7 yards. 7 yards for Davis. And it's going to be 2nd and 3 from the 35. So that offensive line of Pittsburgh just doing an absolutely fabulous job. That's a 7-yard run for Davis, who has his 2nd carry. So 2 carries and 15 yards, an 8-yard run and a 7-yard run. And he's down. He has 2 more carries left in him. And we're going to give it to Davis again. Again, an inside run to the halfback, Davis. And it's a base defense, an X. 36 goes down to 35. 35 on the 2nd column for the 2 offensive play call. And that's 6 yards and a 1st down. So 1st down as Davis is allowing Harris, Preston Pearson, and Blyer to get a breather right now. 1 minute left in the third quarter. Davis, an unsung hero right now. Carries of 8, 7, and 6. He has 1 more carry in him. So he'll get the ball again. 1st and 10 from the 41 of Pittsburgh. Handoff Davis. This time there's no Davis magic. As blank black die a 7. And they're keying him this time. That's a G. 1-4 goes to 1-3. Oh boy. That's minus 2 yards as he's smothered under. The Purple Gang takes out their frustration on Davis. And that will be the end of the third quarter. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll be the end of the third quarter. Clock runs out. So minus 2 on his last eligible carry. But he was pretty serviceable there. So now Preston Pearson's the only guy who has a carry left. And then, oh, we also have a freaking reverse. Oh, God. So, Do we have a reverse? I think Swan has a reverse. Does Swan have one reverse in him? Yeah. I don't know if that should count, though. I guess it'll count, so we'll run a reverse. All right, 15 more minutes of football, 13-0. Pittsburgh. Go to the chat for a second. Love these dry marker thingies. All right, let's go to the chat. The original Grognard's here. How you doing, my friend? As he's saying hello to everybody. And Stratomatic Delaware says, I'm a gorilla, Gorella's gorilla, got my terrible towel. Well, they're kicking butt, Stratomatic. And the phone rings, and I shall be back in a moment. And we are back. God, I hate real life. But what can you do? Sound check. This is only a test anyway. All right, we got the fourth quarter coming up. And I don't remember what the hell down it is. Sound check is good. Loss of a yard. Looks like there's a loss of a yard. 2 yards, -2. So I think it is 2nd and 12, starting the fourth quarter. 2nd and 12, and we're going to go with a reverse to Lynn Swan here. This should be a disaster. So the reverse to Lynn Swan, as that's one, we have 2 more carries we have to take. One's a flanker end around, and then Pearson has 1 more carry. And then we can just do as we wish, bludgeon them with Franco Harris. And these are the house rules I made up to try to make it so you're not just giving the ball to the same backs over and over again. So Lynn Swan on the flanker reverse. The flanker reverse, or flanker end around, is a 6 on the chart. And Lynn Swan, this is going to go down 2 as it's only a 6 offensive play call. Oh boy. And we need a big roll here if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And they have that keyed. It's a D. It's a 26. No penalty, though, because it's going to go down 2. It's a 6 play call. So they have the right play call. 25-24 minus a yard. That's not a horrible result. And it's going to be 3rd and 13. As the fourth quarter's on the way, so Chuck no little tomfoolery. It didn't work. So 3rd and 13 for the Steelers on their own 38. 30 and 13. So Preston Pearson has 1 carry left. 3rd and 13. We're going to go medium pass. Stallworth. 13, 16. Medium pass to the left end, John Stallworth. He's allotted 1 reception. As we've already used Shankle with his 2, the starter. So they need to pick up 13. Can Terry Bradshaw come up big once again on a 3rd and long? He will not this time. As that's the black dice blink. It's a 4. And they're playing pass, because a D is a pass coverage for medium to deep passes. And it's a 1-5. And it'll go down to a 1-4. 1-4 D incomplete. So I'll bring up 4th down, and this will be the first punt for Pittsburgh in our game. 14 minutes of playing the game, and it's 4th and 12, so that's incomplete. As I should mark Swan's -1. What do you have, -1 or -2? Doesn't matter. -2, I think it was. On a run, and an incomplete pass for Bradshaw. Actually, Franco Harris still has 3 runs. So we'll get Pearson out of the way next time, and then we'll just bludgeon them with Franco Harrison. So here comes the punt, and here is Bobby Walden to punt back deep for the Vikings. The youngster Jackie Wallace, the defensive back, only played a couple of years for the Vikings. Oh my Lord! Walden, double 1. His punt is blocked. Holy cow! Just like in the freaking Super Bowl. That's hilarious. And that the ball's going to be recovered by the Vikings as it goes -15 yards. So we'll just bring it to the 40 and add and make it 17. 10, 15, 16, 10. So the Vikings recover on the block punt by Alan Page. That's hilarious. On the Pittsburgh 23. In reality, they would block the punt and get a touchdown, and they missed the extra point. But how eerie is this? Oh, my Lord. We had the pickoff late to Gilliam. Oh, my Lord. So, blocked punt. And the Vikings defense gives them hope, down 13-0. They take over 1st and 10 on the 23. How eerily similar is this? Holy crap. That is hilarious. They blocked the Bobby Walden punt, and that's just pure luck. I mean, again, I'm just saying, it's eerie. That's too funny. I got to mark that down in the miscellaneous. So Alan Page blocks the punt. Block punt, Page. And that comes at the 14:30 mark, early 4th quarter. Wow. And here come the Vikings with their best opportunity of the game after the block punt. So Bobby Walton, as the punt block was on for the Vikings. And Fran Tarkenton has to put some points on the board here. Down 13-0. Tarkenton's going to go for broke right away. Medium pass to John Gilliam. And that is a 9. So the medium pass to the flanker is a 17. John Gilliam. And that's a 9. He's looking for Gilliam on the medium pass. This dice roll will stay even. Can Tarkenton hook up after the block punt with Gilliam? It's a 2-6. It's a penalty. A penalty. Let's see who it's on as it stays. That's our first flag of the game. So it's a penalty. The higher the dice roll on a penalty, it goes towards the defense. So the Vikings, if you're a Vikings fan, you're hoping for a 33 or better. And it's a 44. This will be on Pittsburgh. So a block punt and a 44. It's a 5-yard penalty. Pittsburgh lined up in the neutral zone. So it's going to be 1st and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the Pittsburgh 18. So a block punt and a penalty. And the Vikings are in business. With 13 minutes to play in the game, and they have to get 2 scores. They're down 13-0. First and 5. Foreman has had no success on the ground. He's had 1 carry for 2 yards. Actually, 2 carries. No, 1 carry. We've been down. We haven't even had the ball. Well, Tarkenton again going medium pass. John Gilliam. The play call will stay even. It's a 17 play selection. 1-3 will stay at a 1-3. Black die is blank, so Tarkenton will not connect up. It is a 6. And the 6 is keying the fullback. Foreman. So in a weird way, I'm glad we didn't call his number. And the 1-6. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 1-3. It stays at a 1-3. And it's an F on the 17 play call. 1-3-F. Incomplete. So it's going to be 2nd and 5 from the 18. As once again, Tarkenton went for broke. But good defense by Blount Wagner. Break up that play. So Tarkenton, just an awful, where's my pen? There it is. An awful day for Fran Tarkenton. Just like he had in the Super Bowl. All right. 2nd and 5, right? Yeah, because it was 1st and 5. 2nd and 5. And they're going to go handoff. Chuck Foreman, the fullback. It's a 7-run play. 7-run play against a 9 defense. It'll go down 2. Can Chuck Foreman rip off a big run? Oh my God! 1-2. Drops to a 1-1. They're keying Foreman. He's going to get hit hard. And that will be 2 yards and a fumble. So there's a fumble at the 13. Who's going to come away with it on the pop? By Jack Lambert. 1 through 4. And the Steelers recover 5-6. And the Vikings recover. It's a 6! So Stu Voigt recovers the fumble. And the Vikings stay in business. It will be 3rd and 3. They dodged a bullet there. So +2 for Foreman. And a fumble, but recovered. By the tight end, Stu Voigt. Wow, they dodged a bullet there. That could have been ball game, folks. So 3rd and 2, 5 yards and 3 yards. No. 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. Under 12 minutes of play. 3rd and 3. They got to put points up here. Touchdown. That's what they really need. But they'll put up 3 if they have to. 3rd and 3. Tarkenton needs some magic here in Fran Tarkenton. And 3rd and 3. Tarkenton scrambles a 9. So a 10, that's a run for Tarkenton, is a 9. Fran Tarkenton's going to call his own number. Bootleg. Bootleg or a scramble. They're both 9s. It stays even. Basically the same. 22-40. Tarkenton with the scramble. So we're going offensive play call 10. And that corresponds with a 9 rating for Fran Tarkenton. So it stays even. Tarkenton's going to try to pick up the 3 yards on his own. And it's a 26, and it's a penalty as it stays even. Doesn't matter what the defense is called. So a penalty, 2 ticks come off the clock. Yellow hankies litter the field. Just under 11 minutes of play. And who will it be on? The higher the dice rolls, the defense. And it's a 46. Why can't we get this when we're running offensive plays? And 46, 5 yards. As the play is blown dead. Offsides, first down. Down to the 11-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 11. Aided by a punt block and 2 penalties now. The drive continues for the Vikings. So 1st and 10. Tarkenton is allotted 2 runs. He's going to go bootleg. Bootleg Fran Tarkenton. Again, this is the bootleg's a 7. It's a 9 offensive play call against a 9 defense. Can Tarkenton get the big roll on the bootleg? Tarkenton is popped trying to turn the corner. It's a double 1. And it's a B. Minus a yard and a fumble. Once again, the Vikings put the ball on the ground. Unbelievable. The horrible luck we've had. It's a fumble no matter who carries the ball. Double 1s don't change. Not that they can. It's a 9 defense. It's only a 10 that would move it up once. So Tarkenton fumbles. Big hit by Lambert once again. And who will recover it? Vikings need a 5-6. And it's a 3! Pittsburgh recovers on their own 12. And thus, that ends the best threat of the day for the Vikings. So Lambert on the hit. The recovery is made by Russell on the fumble recovery. And that's it. for the Vikings. Fumble recovery, Russell, caused by Jack Lambert, who I think actually got hurt in the Super Bowl. But we're not playing with injuries here, so not that it's come up. So Lambert forces the fumble. As Alicia Kingston's joined us, as well as Old Soldier, hope all is well, and Dog Sidious. As we're coming to an end here, and this is very eerily similar to the actually Super Bowl IX. Pittsburgh won 16-6 right now with 10 minutes to play, under 10 minutes to play in the game. It's 13-0 Pittsburgh, and the Vikings just fumbled after a block punt, which actually did happen in the Super Bowl for the Vikings, except they got a touchdown on it. They fumbled on the Pittsburgh 12. So it's going to be Franco Harris now and the Pittsburgh run offense trying to bludgeon and run the clock out against the Vikings. So here it comes. Let's mark that. Tarkenton, just an awful day. -2 yards and a fumble. Fran Tarkenton, an awful day. Just like in the Super Bowl. Here's a handoff. Franco Harris. Hey, diddle diddle up the middle with Franco and his Italian-American army. And Harris, that's a 46. What a run it's going to be. They are King Harris, though. And it's going to go up 2 because it's a 10 offensive play call. So 46, 55, 56, 7 yards for Franco. And it's going to be 2nd and 3. So Franco Harris continues to bludgeon the Vikings. 9 minutes to play in the game. 13-0 Pittsburgh here in Super Bowl IX. Test of the season I made. So 9 yards for Franco. Two carries left for Franco. Then we have to give 1 for Pearson. And then we can run whoever we want. They're going to give it Preston Pearson on the inside run to the halfback. And this is a 9, so it'll only go up 1 against the 8th defense of the Vikings. And Pearson, as that goes off the tape chart, and that's a 7, but they have the right play call. 1-3 goes to 1-4. G minus a yard. Preston Pearson smothered under. And that will leave what was that? Now we'll leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 3rd and 4. Pearson's carries are done. So now it's all Franco all day, all the time. He has 2 carries left. And then he didn't get 9 yards. Did he get 9 yards on that? Yes, he did. But did we lose? Oh, what did I do wrong here? Oh, we had the reverse. We lost yardage. Yeah. Okay. Was that? I feel like I didn't mark it right. If he had 9 yards, why? All right, we're just gonna. I don't know. I could have moved it with my hand. I don't remember. So it's 3rd and 4. They're gonna give it to Franco Harris. Inside run Harris, and it's a 66. It don't matter. We're picking it up, and it's a 3. And they're blitzing, so Harris is going to run right by the blitz. This could be a big gainer here, folks. The black die is blank. It's a 3 corresponds with the C defense, which is a blitz. It's a 66. 66 and double ones can't change, not that a 66 would. So a handoff, Franco Harris on the blitz. It's a long gainer. So that's 4 off the clock. Franco Harris is going to rip off a long run, and these will be the final nails in the coffin of the Minnesota Vikings here in Super Bowl IX, most likely. So we go to the long gainer chart. The higher the roll, the better result. And it's a 55. Ooh, boy. So the long gainer, 55, 72 yards. Let's back it up a bit. Make it 75. 10, 20, 30, 40. Harris could go all the way. 50, 60, 70. Down to the 10-yard line. Franco Harris. A 72-yard run as he's finally dragged down, cutting the angle, is Kraus, the safety, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 10, a 72-yard run by Franco Harris. And what a game Franco's having. I think I already marked that off. Yeah, I did. So Franco Harris with a 72-yard gain. Kraus saves the touchdown for now. And Harris, unbelievable. We're going to see how close he gets to his real numbers. And he has one. No, his carries are done. So anyone can get the ball now. So Harris will come out of the game. He's a bit winded after that 70-yard run. And we're going to go with a double halfback. So we'll have a split backfield of Blyer and Pearson. And actually, Pearson has one carry in him. So 3. Yeah, he has one carry in him. Handoff Preston Pearson. And that is a base defense. Black dies an X. 34 goes up to a 35B on the handoff. They continue to pound the ball inside right at the purple gang. 35B, 6 yards. Down to the 4. 1st and goal from the 4. And now all the runs are allotted. So 1st and goal from the 4. Here comes Franco Harris back in the game. He's rushed the ball 17 times already. I might have missed by 1, so we'll count it after. He's got well over 100 yards. And let's see if Franco can add a touchdown to that. As I have to mark off the time. Under 7 minutes of play. And this comes off the turnover when Tarkenton fumbled. And the best Vikings opportunity. Here's the handoff to Franco Harris. It's a 45. They're keying Harris. It'll go up 2. It's a 10 offensive play call. So they have the right play call. 45 goes to 46 for 55. Touchdown from the 4. Franco Harris goes in from 4 yards out. 4-yard touchdown, Franco Harris. And here's the extra point by Girella. Anything 1-3 and better. Oh, it's blocked! Alan Page bursts through and blocks the extra point just like he blocked the punt. And it's now 19-0. So Alan Page taking his frustration out on the football. He blocked a Bobby Walden punt and now a Roy Girella extra point. But it's 19-0 with just under 7 minutes to play. As Pittsburgh has just bludgeoned the Viking defense with their run game. So let's mark the touchdown. So 4th quarter. At the 7-minute mark, we'll say. Four-yard run. TD run. Harris. Kick blocked by Alan Page. $19-0 Pittsburgh. Here comes Roy Girella to kick off from his 40. As the Vikings fans who showed up for the Super Bowl are quite disappointed. Here's the kickoff by Girella, and that's a 56. That's in the end zone, and I'll be brought back out to the 20, 1st and 10. So 2 ticks off the clock for that. 6 minutes to play. Vikings down 19-0. Tarkenton has to go for broke. He's had an awful day, to say the least, just like in the real Super Bowl. He still has 2. You can go 2 completions to John Gilliam, and that's where he's going here. He's going deep. Bomb to the flanker, Gilliam. And this is a 10 on the 21 offensive play call. is a 10 offensive play against a 9 defense. It'll go up 1. Can Tarkenton late in the game finally connect up with the speedster John Gilliam, the deep threat? No, he cannot. As it's a 1-5, it'll go to a 1-6-2 base defense. The black die was blank, but it's a 2, so it goes to base defense. And B, 1-5 goes to 1-6, incomplete. Nothing new for Tarkenton. Rinse and repeat. 2nd and 10. Another incomplete pass for Fran Tarkenton. His numbers are ugly, folks. 2nd and 10. Once again, they're going deep to John Gilliam. And they have Gilliam smothered under in coverage. And they have they're keying Gilliam. It's a 2-3 goes to 2-4. The result is the same. Incomplete. 3rd and 10. Just don't want to waste a completion if we get one. We only get 2 to Gilliam. 3rd and 10. We got to pick up the first here, though. 3rd and 10. No, you know what? This is time we're going to hit Gilliam. Bomb to Gilliam once again. Not there. 45 base defense. And I'll go to a 46 on the B. Long gainer. He finally connects up with John Gilliam. A long gainer. Gilliam catches the ball in stride. Come on. 66. 25. 25 is a 40-yard gain. So Gilliam is tackled at the Pittsburgh 40 by the safety, Wagner. Edwards, actually, the free safety. But that is a 40-yard, 25, right? Make sure I did that right. Long gainer, 25, 40 yards. So finally, Fran Tarkenton connects up with Gilliam, 40 yards. Gilliam's good for one more reception, but because we're down in the game, we're not going to go with that. What the hell, right? My game, my rules. So a 40-yard reception for Gilliam, and unfortunately, we've got to take 4 ticks off the clock for that. So there'll be under 5 minutes left. Tarkenton once again going for broke. Going for Gilliam. Deep pass, John Gilliam. And this time he's under pressure. 1-3 goes to 1-4. Base defense. As the black die is blank, it's a 9 on the green, which is one of the base defense calls. And what I say, 1-3, 1-4, B. Incomplete, as he's able just to throw that ball away as Mean Joe Green was chasing him. So 2nd and 10. 4 minutes left in the game. Tarkenton. Gilliam. 46! He's going to hit Gilliam in stride again. And they're blitzing. 46 goes to 55. Wow, we needed that too on the blitz. The 46 would have been incomplete, but it goes up because it's a 10 offensive play. Goes to a long gainer. So again, Tarkenton hooks up. It's a 34. Come on, get a touchdown here for God's sakes. 34. 45 yards, so it's a 40-yard touchdown pass to Gilliam. And the Vikings are finally on the board. 2 long passes, but there's only 3 minutes left in the game, folks. Tarkenton hits Gilliam back-to-back. I'm sorry, what was that? Yeah, back-to-back 40-yard passes. Well, for completions, not back-to-back passes. But so Tarkenton, 40-yard TD. Gilliam gets his 2 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown. We await the Fred Cox extra point. He missed his extra point when they blocked the punt in real life. So now The Vikings are on the board. It's 19-6. Very eerily similar. Here's the extra point by Cox, and he makes it. So Cox makes the extra point. It's 19-7. Unbelievable how close this actually is. Kind of frightening. So the Vikings finally get on the board at the 3-minute mark. Fourth quarter, 3-minute mark. 40-yard TD pass. Gilliam from Tarkenton. Kick good. So how big was that fumble that Tarkenton had? Deep. They're inside the 15, I believe. And now with 3 minutes to go, and we got to try for the onside kick, and that's like 1 through 5 is failure. We need a 6 here for the onside kick. Where's the onside kick chart? Onside kick. 6, the offense gets the ball at midfield. 1 through 5, the defense gets it, and they're the return team. So here comes the onside kick for the Vikings. They kick off from the 40. They need a 6 here. They're down. We haven't stopped them, really. We have 3 timeouts, but I think we got to go for the onside kick. It's 19-7. We're down 12. 3 minutes. 2. Onside kick fails. Pittsburgh recovers it as they have the hands team out there. Lynn Swan comes up with the ball. Onside kick fails. The 2. And it's on the 49 of Pittsburgh. So the onside kick fails. And with under 3 minutes to play, looks like the Steelers are going to win Super Bowl IX like they did in real life. They're up 19-7. Franco Harris had a huge game, which he did in real life. He was the MVP. So here's the gift of Franco Harris, and we're going to call timeout. So no time will come off the clock. And that is a handoff to Harris. It's a 2-4 base defense. Black dies blank. 2-4. But that will go up 2. 8 defense against a 10 offensive play call. So 2-4. 2-5. Penalty! Son of a bitch, and we wasted a timeout. Well, it actually still time would have come off the clock for the penalty by the rules of the game. So we have 2 timeouts left. Come on. Low roll. 23, that's going to be on the offense. 5 yards on the offense, and we'll accept it. It'll be 1st and 15. Wait a second. If we decline, can we decline it? Because ticks will come off the 1st and 15. I don't think you can decline that offsides. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1st and 15 from the 44 for Pittsburgh. Timeout once again. Minnesota has 1 left. Handoff Franco Harris. 1-4. Harris is smothered under. The 1-4 will go 1-5, 1-6. Right play call 1-6. No yards. As Marshall and Wally Hillenberg meet at Franco Harris. So it's going to be 2nd and 15. We use our last timeout. Handoff Franco Harris. And Harris rips off a big run as everyone's up in the box. Harris rolls a 66. He's off to the races again. 66. Oh, I got to check the defense, actually, before I get all giddy about it. Black die, blank, 0. Base defense, 66. 13 yards. 13 yards. Oh, boy. My faux pas. But he'll be short of the 1st down by 2 yards. No more timeouts left. So 1st and 15. They got nothing. 2nd down. He got 0 yards. That's where I like the computer. Got too excited with the dice roll, now I can't remember. Alright, let's look at this for a second. Bear with me a moment. So Harris got 0 yards. And then he got 13 yards. I think it's third. 1st and 15, 0 yards. I think it's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. We have no timeouts left. 3rd and 2. And we're going to give it to Rocky Blyer on the handoff. Harris will catch a breather. And it's a 2-5. It goes up 1 to 2-6. Because it's a 9 against an 8 defense on the 2 offensive play call. And that's 3 ticks off the clock. 2-minute warning after this. But it's a penalty, so let's see who it's on. 1-3 on the offense, 15 yards. If we decline it, it's 4th and 2. They might go for it. I probably would go for it. So we'll back them up 15, and there's a 2-minute warning. All right, so 3rd and 17. Blyer, no carry there because, yeah, 3rd and 17. They're going to just, doesn't matter. Handoff, Rocky Blyer. And a 2-4 goes to a 2-5 base defense. 2-5 on the base defense. Gain of 3. Ball's at the 45, and they will punt. And 3 ticks come off the clock. 1 minute left. This ball game's over, folks. And here comes a punt. They need a double 1, that's for sure. I don't think there's a way. Yeah, you can't call for a punt block. It just goes off the dice roll. So here comes Walden, who had his last punt block. And it's a 1-4. He almost had that one blocked. He just gets it off. And it's a 38-yard punt. 10, 20, 35, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be 2. They'll have 1 play left. Come on! The punt return. The punt returner for the Vikings is Jackie Wallace, the defensive back. Only played briefly in the NFL. 66! 56! Son of a bitch. 28 yards. Move it up 2. Make it 26. 10, because we moved it up to 25, 6. So they'll have one last play from the Pittsburgh 49. And you know what it is? It's a bomb to John Gilliam. Last play of the game. Tarkenton's going to heave it up to Gilliam. 19-7. Steelers lead. 66! Son of a bitch. 66! They have the right play call. It doesn't matter, though. It's a long gainer. So Tarkenton's going to connect up to Gilliam again because it's a 5-6 So that's an E. 66. 56 would have been a 31 yards, but it goes up 1 to long gainer. So let's see what the long gainer will be. They need 49 yards. So, again, it doesn't matter except for stat purposes, and it makes it fun. 49 yards, long gainer. Where's the long gainer chart? There it is, 49. We need a 44 or better. We don't get it. 25 yards, and that's 25, and it's a 40 yards, and he is tackled at the 11. He can't break free, and that's how the ball game ends with another 40-yard reception by Gilliam, and he'll end with 120 yards. Wow. And the Vikings will go down to defeat in their third attempt at the Super Bowl, just like they did in real life. Except in real life, it was 16-6. In our game, it's 19-7. Where's Gilliam? Gilliam, 3 receptions, all 40-yard receptions with a touchdown, 120 yards and a TD. That is so eerily similar, except for the passing at the end. That didn't happen. And that's it. With the couple of interruptions, we went 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it's a test, and I go back and I look at this. I think that, again, I created the 74 season, and I did the Super Bowl teams. And now I have it kind of down what I want to do. I'm going to go back and now create the 58 season with the allotted teams I want to create, and then come back to the 74 season. So, again, I only had the 68 season for Fran Tarkenton Pro Football offensive plays. But I used their engine, modified. I gave individual players ratings, not all of them. Backup players, I just looked at a cumulative effect of the backup players, if I'm using that term correctly. And they're backup players, so they didn't have, guys who had 3 carries for the year, you don't really need to rate them, I guess. So, anyhow, thank you very much to Dog Cities. Check out that wonderful channel, Alicia Kingston. Thank you very much, Old Soldier. What's the score? He says the final score, 19-7. The real score, let's just look for ha-has. I have it up, because, again, it amazes me when anything comes close, whether it's a PC game or I basically made this season, so I worked hard to kind of get the ratings for plays as close as I thought. Again, the 68 season ratings are skewed to the NFL big time. I went back and I looked. I said, those numbers aren't, some of the numbers are right. They took the 67, though, and put it to the 68. Anyhow, no one cares about that now. Anyhow, let's go here. So, in reality, we just played, what we did was play the Super Bowl 9 over, and it was 19-7, Pittsburgh. In reality, Pittsburgh won 16-6. Franco Harris was the MVP, and I'll just give you Harris rushed for, where is Harris? Rushing yards. 34 carries, 158 yards. So he didn't have 34 carries because we had to go through all of our carries before we could pick anyone we wanted. But Franco, let's do it quickly. Let's see how close he came to his numbers. He's definitely the MVP, so that comes to fruition. So I'm happy about the ratings that way. Harris, how many carries did he have? Definitely not 34. Again, we had to go through all the carries for everyone first. That way you're not just calling the same play over and over. At the end of the game, it doesn't. In fourth quarter, all hands are on deck, the way I look at it if you're down. So Franco Harris had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 carries. I think, let me count it. He only had 19 carries. We only went 2 over his limit. So he had 19 carries. I could have missed a couple in there. 19 carries, we'll just say. I'll double count it. So 19 carries. 10, 24, 29, 30, 32, 36, 42, 55, 59, 61, 64, 72. Then he has a 72-yard run. 144. Then a 4-yard touchdown run. 148. Oh, my God. 148. Then 13 yards. His last carry, 13 yards. It's an 11. Add the 1. 161 yards. How scary is that? No one's even listening to me, but I don't care. 161 yards. In the game, he had 154. I'm sorry, 158 on 34 carries. He did 161 on, I think it's 19. I'll count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 carries. And that's because The way I made the rules, you have to give everyone their carries. That is unfreaking believable. That is frightening. So Franco Harris is the MVP. In the real Super Bowl, 34 carries, 158 yards, a touchdown, long run of 25. He did fumble the ball twice, though. But I think Pittsburgh recovered them both times. In our Super Bowl replay, using Fran Tarkenton offensive play calls, but me modding the game with the season 1974 and with individual player ratings on offense, not on defense, just on offense, just like the games played. We had 19 carries for Harris, 161 yards, and a touchdown. No fumbles for Franco. How scary is that? In the real game, as I stated earlier, 16-6. Pittsburgh won 16-6. In our game, they won 19-7. That's pretty damn close. Pretty damn close, people. I have to pat myself on the back for doing a good job with the ratings. I want to do kicker ratings and punter ratings next. So this game will be practically, I'm using the original engine, but changing it. So it's going to be a new game. It's kind of fun. So anyway, thank you very much to Dog Sidious. Check him out. Alicia Kingston, Old Soldier, thank you very much. Original Grognard, Wonderful Military Channel, check him out. Ken Castro, thank you, my friend. And Pete Bosox, fan 67, who I haven't seen in a long time, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you stopping by. Jerry Ball, stopped by to say hi. So that was a lot of fun, as I just banged my elbow. And we will call it a stream. Health and happiness. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye. God bless. And as always, peace.